What is up, guys? Viper for Life here, and we're going to be doing some automation. Now, we're going to be making a... Hold on, I need to zoom up here. We are going to be making a V6 for a fantasy car that I want to make. The engine is called the Aurora Star. So yeah, let's get to it. Now, this is a 4.3 liter V6 that has... what is it? Forged H-beam or I-beam steel? Yes, okay. This is supposed to be the base engine. Now, this will create something like 430, 450 horsepower. Now, for people who are gonna immediately get angry, yes, I know how to tune, and yes, I know what I'm doing for pretty much 90% of all this. I know exactly what I'm doing. So before all of you cry saying, "Oh no, you gotta do it this way," I know exactly what I'm doing. So yeah. Now, twin, good, regular, okay. So, this fantasy car is, well, in order for it to make sense, I have to explain, and considering this is automation, and it's not that it's a boring game, but what I'm doing is not particularly exciting, I guess explaining is going to be good. Good for this instance, anyway. So, I've been saying for a few days that Chrysler needs a flagship. Now, people will immediately be angry with me right now for saying that Chrysler doesn't have a flagship. Now, people will probably be saying, "Oh yeah, they do. What about the 300's their flagship?" Well, to be fair, while the 300 is brilliant, I don't believe that's the best Chrysler can do. Personally, I think Chrysler can do better. And so, what I've decided is to make my idea of Chrysler's flagship. Now, the thing is, there's not a lot I can do. Well, there is a lot I can do, but the only thing I really can do is the engine. Because, well, to be fair, sorry for stuttering like mess. The reason is, this is the demo, so I can't do design. I also can't do design because they don't have any of the body styles I like, not from what I've seen. So I'm not doing design. So the only thing I can do right now, and that's vaguely, is the engine. That's quite literally about as much as I can do. So, I'm doing the engine. And to be honest, I prefer doing the engine anyway. Now, I did say 430 or 450. Nah, you know what? I'm gonna leave it at that. I think that's good at where it is right now. There we go. Just a bit more. Good. So yeah, I think Chrysler need a flagship, and so what this is my idea of Chrysler's flagship, at least for the engine anyway. Now, like I said, it's called the Aurora Star. I was trying to think of a name, and it was really hard, but I finally got one, and it's a V6. I debated on whether I wanted to make it a V8 or a V6, and I decided, well, in terms of it being a Chrysler, I guess V6 sort of suits it better. So, that's what I went with. Now, the thing is though, the name for this vehicle, to be honest, I agreed, or, to be honest, I liked it. I like the name of the vehicle that I thought of. Sorry for stuttering. Happens. So yeah, I decided that this fantasy Chrysler, the flagship Chrysler that really should be made, I decided it'd be called the Chrysler Imperial LeBaron. So that's what I decided. Now it's not gonna. Now it'd be such an evolution over the last one. But, clearly, this engine shows it. But yeah, and I also figured out a new trim level. Because we all know that SRT folded back into Dodge. And now Chrysler doesn't have in air quotations, a SRT division. So I decided, well, they could have an SRT division, in air quotes. And it could, quite simply, in terms of an abbreviation, could be called SR. Now people will be like, oh, well, wouldn't that just be street racing? No, what it stands for is subtle rage. Because when you get those high-powered Chryslers, that's what it's like. They're, subtle rage. It's just, it's right. It works. And so that's why, aside from doing this engine, hold on here. Uh, aside from doing this engine, we're also going to be doing the SR engine. I'm just typing right now. But yeah. Now the reason I was saying Chrysler needs a flagship is because I know there's been a lot of news lately, and they were saying, and this I get from Alpar, credit to them. And basically the article said that Chrysler's trying to focus on being more mainstream, focusing the model. So, and predictions are, because these days you have the Chrysler 200. There's a few models I'm missing, I'm sure, or trim levels, but you have the 200 Limited, the 200C, and the 200S. And basically, the article was saying that the models after that is going to follow it. So you get the 100, the 100 Limited, the 100, the blah, 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 the 100 Limited, the 100C, and the 100S. So for me, the LeBaron, the Chrysler Imperial LeBaron, it would be the same, except for an extra trim level, the SR, because the point of this flagship is supposed to be Chrysler's E-Class, if you will. Because if you ask me, what the 300 is their C-Class. Now people say, oh well, if it's going to be a flagship, why not an S-Class? Because it's supposed to be mainstream luxury, in air quotations. That's basically what the article said. And as close as you can get in terms of the Mercedes range for, that in terms of, I forgot it, whatever. But in terms of that, the E-Class is as close as it'll get. So I decided that's what the Imperial LeBaron should be. So it has sedan, coupe, and convertible, like the old LeBaron did. But yeah, so this is the engine. There's a really bad glitch with Auto World. It keeps sorry, AutoMation. It's quite annoying. It won't save my V6s at all. And I know this is the demo, but it's really, really annoying. So, yeah. But that's the power for the base engine. Now, this engine will be in all of them. The Limited, the S, and the C. Now, the S is the sport one. But to be fair, S is for more handling side. So the SR would be more power. So we're gonna do, oh yeah, and those Blackhawk motors, if any of you are Mopar fans, you'll probably have read on alpar.com, link in the description below, Beast Mopar news site, and they were saying that Chrysler or FCA is gonna try and create a new engine, which is the Hurricane 2-liter and above engines, and so I decided I'd make my own, and they're called Blackhawks. Now, a lot of people probably be saying, well, why didn't you turbocharge the Aurora Star? This is the demo. I can't do that. So all these Blackhawk motors, 2 of them would have turbocharged variants, but the thing is, I can't turbocharge it. So I'm leaving it strictly at being naturally aspirated. Now the Aurora Star, that would be. But yeah, so you have the... I gotta get rid of this base variant, because that's not supposed to be there. But yeah, so you have the SRT4 variant for the Blackhawk. Now, the story behind these Blackhawks is, aside from me saying that Chrysler needs they need a flagship, I was also saying that they need, what they need is a global car. Something like, how the new Mustang's going global, or, I believe it is anyway, or global-ish. I was saying that Chrysler needs, or Dodge more specifically, needs a vehicle to go into Europe and the UK and, maybe Australia. So, that's what those Blackhawk engines are for. Those are engines for a small sport coupe that I've been wanting to make. And what, Virtual Vel?
Cody, I seen you.
I'm recording, I can't see it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, it says you're on a hook for a chai.
Mess. Well, I'm recording, actually. Why don't you do it since I'm recording? It'll be a while.
She said she can wait. Also, hi man, I'm on YouTube. YouTube.
Go away. So, yeah. And I was saying that they need a global vehicle. So I decided it would be like a Toyota GT86, except from Dodge. So it would be more power. It would be more powerful depending on the engine, just as light, just as brilliant in the handling department. But most importantly, light and affordable. So yeah. Now that body is a hatchback, but I can't choose anything else. So I'm strictly just going on engines for this. Now the SR Aurora Star variant engine thing. This will be made of much more luxurious materials like magnesium. And the whole point of that is so that's a much stronger engine to be able to withstand to be able to withstand the extra power I'm going to put in it. Now, all of these have the same. They may not have the same bore and stroke because it's a really big pain to get it to be the same. But in terms of CC, they have the same. It's 4338 for both Aurora Star engines, and it's really there we go. Okay, here. Yeah, this engine, it's in air quotations, it's the same engine but made of much more luxurious materials and much stronger materials. So I can be able to squeeze more power out of it without breaking the engine. So yeah. But yeah, back to the Blackhawks. So I decided, because again, I can't really do the styling, because I'm also not very good at drawing. So I know what I want it to look like. I can't really put it on paper like I want to. But it would basically be rear-wheel drive like the GT86. But if any of you don't remember this old, technically Mitsubishi, but whatever. If you don't remember this, I'll leave a link in the description. And basically, it's a modern day Dodge Colt or Mitsubishi Colt for non-American markets, and I really like that car. So I decided, why not, you know, why not make, why not, give it a, sorry for all the stuttering, have it get a rebirth. And thank you. Eh. I decided, why not get it why not it get rebirthed, in the same way the last one was, except it'd be sportier. Now let's see how much power I can. Oh, it's looking promising. That's very promising, almost 400 horsepower, without even fine-tuning it. That's good. Okay, too much power, I think, for now. Or, sorry, not too much power, you get the point. Okay, now, so, for some more fine-tuning, up the compression. 65. Okay, 423. We're almost there. Almost. I'll never understand how the year ups the power. I kind of get it, but it's still very interesting mess. Doesn't matter. Yeah. Yeah, this engine is supposed to rev this high. That's kind of the point of this V6. Okay, here. Also, sliding those bars is very interesting because it gives you more power. And this should have given me more reliability, but it hasn't. So that's a bit annoying. Let's see, did I make it out of magnesium? Yes, I did. That's why I thought I put that on. Weird. Okay. This should up it. Yes. Holy mess! Look at that! That's almost right where I want to be already. Now for the exhaust. Sometimes the exhausts do more than you expect them to do. Wait, is that? Okay. That'll make it or get slower. In fact, I've had to do this engine over and over, and in fact both of these, and I know you can get to something like 8,600 RPMs before it starts crying. It's really hard, but you can. Oh, yes. I am really hard on that cam profile right now. That is really quite close. Oh, hey, I can. I did not know that. Okay, goodbye. 533, I need more power. More power! I'll tell you what though, to get it to 550 is actually quite hard. And also, I can't do this because it's no mass production. So as much as that would give me the power I'm looking for, I can't do it, which is really, it's unbelievably annoying. Sometimes you have to go down on the fuel mixture. Look at that, 8,700 before the engine gets a bit wonky. You can even do this and that'll give you a lot of power, but I can't. It's not, isn't it? Okay. Yeah, I just don't think I'd be able to do a race intake. I might leave it at 540. I don't know. That depends. It's I spent like 30 minutes yesterday trying to get the power out of this. But yeah, so like I was saying, so that's why I built the Blackhawk engine. So you'd have the economy engine, which creates 170 horsepower, the base engine, which creates 210 or 215 horsepower, and then you have the SRT4, and that creates 268. But those are my quote global engines. But yeah, I'd like to bring back the Colt and make it more modern, but like a GT86 in a sense. 77. I really can't. I've got a really quite annoying sweet spot. No, that doesn't work. It's weird because sometimes low quality. Look, it dies. It just kills the motor. Regular doesn't help, so I leave it at premium. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm really actually that willing to fiddle with it right now. I think I've gotten as much as I can from the engine. Maybe not the compression, but I've got a juice ton as I can from the cam. I'm so close. There we go. There we go. So that is my 2 engine builds today. I need to name it. Yeah, like I was saying though, it's really annoying because it doesn't save very well. Yeah, the engine's named Aurora Star, like the Blackhawk engines, and I might do more engines. I'm not sure yet if I have any ideas, or any more ideas. SR engine variant. Okay, save, enter, done. Okay, so that is it from AutoMation. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And also, people are probably shouting at me right now saying, why don't you just do engines if you didn't want the car, because I haven't done anything with the car. I've tried to do it in strictly engines, and it works, but it takes me like 10 minutes just to get it to work, so I don't bother. So yeah, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more, and I'll see you all in AutoMation again, because I'm getting back into the game, and it's so beast. Anyway, I will see you Viper lovers later. Well, you don't have to be Viper. Well, you either are Viper lovers or you aren't. You know, whatever. I will see you all later.